Hello, folks. Welcome back. So we're on day 9, and I've been getting a little bit of extra feedback from the client about some changes that should still be done on the website. For one thing, he's not exactly happy with all the fonts, so he's thinking perhaps we're going to change a font, which is actually going to be fairly easy to do, but it's cosmetic. So I already told him that, we want to go live in a couple days. If anything, I'm going to take care of all the critical issues first that need to be, taken care of before we actually go live. And then if there's no time for the font before the launch, then we'll just take care of that later. But there are also some smaller things here that he mentioned that are easy and quick to do. Easier and quicker than, really testing if font works in the whole scheme of the design. And one of them is that he points out that we're seeing some imperfections on these images here already because they are fairly low resolution. Oops, hang on. Right click P, unpin U. Okay. We can see it here, for instance, like there is the resolution isn't perfect. So he's wondering if perhaps we can make this whole thing a little smaller so they look a little sharper, and that's easy enough to do. So we go here to the mission, Control Shift right wrapper, Control Shift right mosaic, and in here we have the couple of bodies. So what we're going to do is first to the wrapper, we're going to set this to not stretch. Oh, by the way, let's start the clock. Not stretch. So now they just disappear because the divs in here inside the mosaic, they have no intrinsic height. We haven't set any height on them, but we are going to now give the mosaic a fixed height, or it's sort of a hybrid between fixed height and dynamic height. We're going to say we want to have it 100% high, but we want to have a max height of, I don't know, 30 rem. And we're going to press Control P. And that looks pretty nice. It's still fine. There's no written rule that says these need to be the same height. I think the rhythm of the layout still works quite well if we have the height like this. In fact, I'm wondering if perhaps we could even bottom align them. But then no, none of the other stuff is bottom aligned. I was thinking perhaps I could put them, I'm going to put them down here, but that breaks with the kind of, doesn't match the layout that we have for the rest of the page. So nope. And that's it. And now the other thing we want to do is, let me see. Just going to add 2 minutes to this real quick. Wait, do I stop and then just put 2 minutes here? Start. Bingo. Wait, sure. There, 3. There we go. What was the other thing that I wanted to talk about real quick before? Oh yeah. This image. So he actually sent me the original source file of this image, and I think that's a good thing to have, because if we look closely, the way these people were, isolated from their background is kind of jittery and jaggy, right? Jagged. So I think that can be done better. And also this background, I kind of want to do this in the browser. I want to render this not as part of the PNG or JPEG file, like this whole background with the logo in it. It's nice to have it there, but I just want to isolate these people from the background, have them perhaps as a PNG then, and then use the browser to render this backdrop. But I'm going to have to figure out how big this PNG then is going to be, or perhaps I'm just going to do it as a JPEG. But I have plans for this, suffice to say, because he did send me the original image and I started tinkering with it a little bit. I'm going to show you what I've done so far. This is the image he sent me, and you can see that it's kind of dull. There's clearly something that we can do to brighten it up, to make it to fix the colors up a little, because Peter's actually kind of red on this image. So first I did was I changed the color temperature. I just made it just a little bit warmer. I wanted this TV here to, the background to be, here you can see it has a blue tint, and I wanted it to be neutral. So I just shifted this around a little, and just to my eyes, I'm really just eyeballing it. It is neutral. Then I applied a tone curve to just brighten the whole picture, you know. And now this already looks fairly nice. I sharpened it with an unsharp mask. You can see here, like if you look at Peter's face, it's getting sharper if I have the unsharp mask on, which is basically a local contrast enhancement that I'm doing here. Then I resized the image to, no, it's, why does it say resize? I basically cropped it to these dimensions. Although, yeah, I haven't yet entirely decided how I'm going to proceed with this image. So this is as far as I'm taking this today. And then we're probably going to have an extra episode where we decide what's going to happen with this image and how we're going to implement it on the website. Again, that doesn't necessarily have to happen before launch, because this isn't ideal, but it's fine, you know. So if we do this later, it's still going to be okay. Now, what we really want to get done today is responsive design. And we're going to start with the actual page content, and then later we're going to do the header and the footer. So again, I really love that Advanced Themer has a responsive helper here. So normally if you were just using bricks, you could just go here and switch from, switch between different device widths. And already what AT introduces is if I click again, it goes to the min and max of that device width, which is really cool. So we can here already see sort of the range of, the devices that we're looking at, the range between those breakpoints. And then we can click this and we just have a slider, and then we can do whatever the hell we want, right? And that is just absolutely sick. These yellow lines indicate the breakpoints, and you can see if I cross a yellow line, then up here it moves to a different breakpoint. So it shows me that now I'm on the tablet portrait breakpoint and so on. And if we look at the layout, we see that on tablet portrait, at least to my mind, this website still looks okay, right? All of this looks fine. This is pretty good. This is neat. So even if we go all the way here, it still looks decent, right? Let's Control P, escape, and this is fine. This is okay. Like, I don't think up till that breakpoint we need to make any changes. This is okay. Now, starting here, I want to change some stuff around, right? Yeah. So wait, why is this? First of all, I'm not happy with the way this is done. I used the predefined grid 3 class that I made in Advanced Themer for this, but I kind of don't want that now. I changed my mind about it. So we're going to start there. We're just going to go through this, I'm not going to go from top to bottom. I'm just going to start here because this is the first thing that kind of stuck out to me. And it's something that can be quickly done. Whereas, tinkering with this stuff here, especially this layout, is going to require some ingenuity and some, finagling. Is finagling the right word? Oh, so finagling means cheating. I don't want to cheat. I want to tweak. So it requires a bunch of tweaking. So let's see. We have the service cards. They're grid 3. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to do this manually. I'm going to say I want it to be grid. I want the gap to be our regular space M. Grid template columns, repeat 3, comma, min max 0, 1 FR. What am I doing wrong? It should now, oh yeah, no, I need to close the second bracket. There we go. And then, wait, oh crap, I just did that on this breakpoint. That's the thing, like once you start messing with breakpoints, you got to make sure that you're not accidentally doing changes just on a breakpoint when they should be, on the max, or at least like at the base breakpoint. So again, display grid gap is going to be space M. Grid template columns, repeat 3, min max 0, 1 FR, close the bracket, and this is what we get. Now, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's still fine-ish. Yeah, it's okay. And then starting here, it's not fine. So we're gonna have repeat, we're just gonna have 1 FR, period. So it's that simple. Starting here, I'm just gonna put them below each other, because if I did two, why? This should be 2 columns anyway, it doesn't matter, who cares? 1 FR. Oh no, wait, 1 FR, there. Then we have this, you know, where just one of them is on the left, that we have an orphan. So then if we're gonna have an orphan, then I might as well just go for full width at this breakpoint. So that's what I'm doing. Min max 0, 1 FR. Right, this is what I'm putting in here. And there we go. Oops. Putting. What else? Let's see what we do about this guy. So I'm thinking at this breakpoint, we're still fine. No, we're not. Starting here, I wanna stack these on top of each other. So we are gonna have to figure something out. I'm thinking at this breakpoint, why don't I just get rid of the... Yeah. Am I gonna get rid of... Let's see. Let's just try some stuff. Okay, so we have our section dark. I think that's how I, if I remember correctly, made this whole setup with the before pseudo element. And why does section dark have no... Oh yeah, okay, of course, because all the styling is here. Okay, let's go back to the main. Let's go back to the big size. Background is this section split. It was section split that I put this on. So in CSS, I have the clip path, and then the before I designed it here. So now we go down here to this breakpoint, and I'm gonna say root before, display none. Bingo. And now I'm gonna give the wrapper a background color. Fill, base, and then we have transparent, right? And I'm gonna give it a bunch of padding. And then on the claim, is it not the claim? Is it the body where I put the max width of 58%? Yes. I don't know yet if I like it. It would probably be better if, I mean, I'm not a fan of the background image. But I think the thing by like it, the other way we could do this, if we go back to the hero and we say section split, I mean, down here, it's really nice. There's actually nothing else that needs to happen down here. Oh, I could, on the section split, because this again, this down here is a section split as well, right? It has the same class. So now me just removing or making that, setting the before pseudo element to display none at this breakpoint just means that it also got removed down here. And what if I, on this section here, just at this breakpoint, start putting an overlay over it, but at the ID level. So we go here, style, gradient overlay. We are going to do overlay. And no, I can't do that because oh yeah, I was doing that with an after element. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself here. I'm going to pause this and think about it. Okay, so I have a really nice solution. All I did was I removed the CSS, so we're keeping it. It's fine the way it is. And now all we need to do here is we go to layout, and the left padding just goes. And then we have this. And I think that's a really nice solution. Look at that. I think that's looking great. So let's go back to larger, right? It just breaks out and that's it. And then everything is hunky-dory, even on a small device. I think that still looks okay. So we're golden. We're golden for this. We're good for this. Let's go back here. This is still... Yeah, I mean, the breakpoint is fine. Except I don't know why this disappears after that breakpoint. So it disappears. First of all, these two break, or they start stacking, because in the grid 2 class in the backend in advanced themer, I gave the two columns here a min width each, right? So once we reach that min width, which is somewhere inside, somewhere along the lines, along the way during that breakpoint, is where we reach that. I'm just wondering why I gave the things. Oh yeah, no, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to give them a fixed height and that's it. So what I did was here, service cards. No, not service cards. Where am I? Where's the mosaic? Mission, wrapper, mosaic. I gave this a height and then of 100% and then a max height of 30 rem. And since vertically this is never gonna, I mean, this text is not, and it's not going to shrink. So we'll just make this a height of 30 rem and that's it. So, and now what happens is if I press, was it Control B? Yeah. See, now it's just 30 rem high and it's above the other things. And we're golden. So let's go back to the preview. We're here. I'm gonna press escape to get rid of these lines here. Am I? Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. And then these flip up here. So this is all good. This is all good. MyxoTech, this is all good. See how quickly we're doing our responsive design here? This is really not a big deal, really. This looks great. This doesn't look great. We're gonna have to fix this now. And then this looks fine. These look fine. This is all good. This is great, Then we have the footer bar, which isn't this. Where is it? Oh yeah. I think I mentioned this to Maxime a couple versions back. That if in the preview I have this bar up here open, then it pushes this out of the viewport, like the bottom of this website container. But it still does it. Okay, so it's a minor bug in advanced themer. Now this looks fine. We're actually very close to done with fixing this layout for responsive or for mobile devices. So what we want to have happen here is that, let's go here. Actually, let's collapse everything. We're in FAQ. We're going to go to the wrapper, not to the questions. and the accordion, and inside here, it's the title that has the icon now. Yeah. So where does it break? Does it break here? Yeah, this is where it breaks. And we want to have a row gap. First of all, we can define this at the max, the full, you know, like there's the row gap. It just doesn't, it's not relevant up here at the largest breakpoint, but that's still where we kind of want to define it because it, you know, it belongs to the whole element. And then we give the icon the order 2. There. Does that look nice? Are we happy with that? I don't know if I'm happy with that. Actually, I don't even know why. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't just... There's no need for them to stack, really. In the first place, it's not necessary. So we're going back to the title. We're getting rid of the row gap. We don't want the row gap. And I'm just going to force it to not wrap, which we do by... How do we do this? Why does it wrap in the first place? I don't know why it wraps in the first place. Okay, yeah, that was fine. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, so I looked at the source and I noticed that it does, you know, there's an add media rule for this breakpoint that tells the block to wrap. And I'm just going to tell it to not wrap. So we're going to go back to questions, accordion, title, and we're going to say flex wrap, no wrap. And there we are. And everything's fine. I think that looks great. This is going to look great even on small devices. It's perfectly fine, right? So here we go. MyxoTech team, wonderful. They're all here. And then we've got our footer, which is fine. We've got the footer bar, which is fine as well. And we're good. So now we go and edit the header. I'm probably going to find out that I overlooked something, but at that point, I'll take care of it when I figure it out. So we have the responsive helper here. And we look again, now we're just looking at the header. The page is fine. Well, you know, it's the way we want it. I'm going to save this again. So starting here, the menu breaks. It doesn't break. It has a breakpoint where it then turns into a hamburger menu. So let's go back up here. Do we need this to be at this breakpoint? Probably, yeah, because this breakpoint, then these would clash together. So go back up here, top level. What does it say? Ah, yeah, okay. So at the ID level, we have our gap, space M. We have the margin. Remember when we built all this? Good old times. We want the... Am I looking? Mobile menu. Show at breakpoint mobile landscape. That's fine. Where is the hamburger menu? Hamburger toggle. The color I want it to be this. I want the action color. And now we're going to close this mobile menu and we're going to see there, right? Now we can see the hamburger. And the hamburger, apart from that, looks fine. It's just the way we want it. So we are going to go back to the Max, and then we're going to go to mobile menu. And I'm feeling like making this a full width menu. So 100%, center, center, center. Yes, wonderful. We want the background to be, why don't we use the dark base one? Do we put some transparency on it? Perhaps that's a little much. But I kind of like a little bit transparency. It kind of looks neat. And I think that's it, really. We're gonna have to set the anchors here. So let's just check this. We're gonna open ResponsivelyApp, which is gonna be on my other screen in a moment. Yes. So if you don't know ResponsivelyApp, it's a fantastic free tool that I highly recommend. You just go to responsively.app and you download it, and there you go. So here we go to MyxoTech.com, and it's just going to show us a side-by-side version, or look at the website on different device sizes. You can put as many device sizes in here as you want. You can scroll then, if you scroll here, it happens simultaneously, and you could just get to see your website side by side. If I press Control minus, is it? No. Let me see. I keep forgetting what the keyboard shortcut is. Zoom in. Oh yeah, equals and dash. You can even zoom out here and just look at that. And this is what happens if I open the menu. And then, of course, if I click on it or tap on it, nothing happens because we haven't done the whole thing with the anchors yet. Zoom in would be Control equals. I remember I had this working. Oh, it is Control plus for some reason now. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think we can agree that this website is now well optimized. No, it's not. This needs to have a row gap here. But apart from that, we're fine. Yeah. The header is good. We're going to close the header. We are going to go Control B. No, we're not going to go Control B. Go back to the main breakpoint. And here we give it a row gap of space content. Save. Go back here. Control Shift R to reload. And we go back down here, and it should, but it doesn't. But it should give us this row gap here that I put in there. Yeah, because I put it at the wrong level. It's not on the section, it needs to be on the container. Wait, there is a gap. Because it's a grid, there is a gap. Why am I not seeing that? Is it just me, or is there no gap here? Oh, there is that gap. Kind of want it to be bigger. Something like this, I think, makes it look better. But then we kind of have to be consistent, and we need to do that here as well. And now I'm repeating myself, so I'm violating dry rules. I'm going to think about that, but for now I'm just going to violate the freaking dry rule. Was it XXM? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Still seems awfully tight. But I think it did grow, so I shall now stop bitching and be happy with my life. One thing, I'm going to look what the gap here is in that footer. We're using space L. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a class. Yeah, hang on. So for consistency's sake, I want the row gap to be space L in some cases. Like for instance, here in the footer, I believe that having a space L in here makes sense. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to give it a class, and I'm going to call it row gap. No. Content spacing large. Okay. Is that, wait, what's the name of the variable? Space content large. Space content large. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to go to CSS. Actually, no, I don't need to go to CSS because this is a flex, and flex allows me to control row gap here. So I'm just going to say I want this to be space L. And now the footer is okay. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to reload the main page. Just save to be on the safe side. And we're going to go to this here where I want the row gap to be larger. Space content large. And that's the thing. Since this is a grid, we don't have a row gap control here, actually. This is one thing that Bricks doesn't expose to you when you're using grid. Because in most cases, I think that's just what the developers decided. In most cases, if you're doing a grid, you don't want to control row gap and column gap independently. You just want a gap. But we just put the row gap on this class. So now that I'm applying this class, I'm still applying the row gap. And since there are no rows here, at least not on this wrapper level, it's only going to get applied at the point where it wraps, right? So here we can see that, okay, we're seeing that it's not working as I expected. Because this should now be this should be a large gap, but it's not. I mean, fine. I'm gonna go back to the footer and just do it with CSS. Row gap. Space L. Row gap space L. And now we're going back here. Gonna refresh. Okay, I don't get it. Fine. Well, I'm just going to put this class on here. Oops. Grid 2, and then space content large. And we're going to do this on the FAQ as well on the wrapper. And we're going to go space content large. Should be space content large row. By the way, it sounds like I hate this responsive stuff. I have nothing else to add to that. So why is it not working? What are we doing here? Tell me. Yeah. .grid 2 is overriding this. I mean, fine, I'll just use important and I'll be done with it. I figured as much, actually. There. I'm sure there are more elegant ways to do this than I just did it, but it works, and that's all that matters. Yeah, look at that. Nice, 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 nice. Looking good here. Looking nice and dandy here. Perfect. And I'm going to rename this to larger row gap. Oops. That's our class. Close the footer. I did just save, I think. My brain's already melting. You should be good. Jump around much? Okay, cool, 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 cool. Wonderful. All right. We're good. We're good, folks. Thank you very much. I think that's all we need to do today. We have a responsive website here, and I am quite happy with it. And I will see you soon. That's all. Bye. Hey again, guys. I'm back with another quick addendum because we're still on day 9 and I realized, I have a little bit of time left and I want to get one thing out of the way just to have it, sorted. I think during the video I already pointed out that none of these links really work. I put them in here already, so when I set up the menus, I made sure that they're already linked, or the anchors that I want to use eventually are already in here. So we have mission, services, about -us, FAQ, team, and contact. And we're just going to put that in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the mission section. We're going to go to, by the way, I'm going to lock this. I'm going to go to style, or I can go directly to CSS. No, classes ID. And I'm going to give it the ID mission. And then the next one, I'm going to give the ID sec services, about us, and so on. About us, FAQ. Team. And in the footer, I'm going to give the last section an ID called contact. And that's going to make the menu items work. Then this button should already be linked. Yeah. So if somebody clicks this button, they're going to have an email window popping open. And if, let's see if these buttons send us an inquiry, I'm just going to send people down to the contact section. So link type, external URL, # contact. And here as well, send us an inquiry. And it's just going to be the same thing, external. Going to do that for the rest. And now on to the testing. So I click mission, it's fine. Services, it works. About us works well. FAQ, hunky-dory. Team, yes, perfect. And contact takes us all the way down here. And these buttons should do the same. Send us an inquiry brings us down to contact. Send us an inquiry down to contact and contact us now. Wonderful. And we have another one here. Contact us now, and that's it. Now I notice, how did this happen? How did that happen? And it looks kind of sick, or slick, but why do we have this effect here and here? Is this something that I did with a class? Okay, I'm going to double check that. Okay, so just looking at the source code, I can see that the section split class for some reason now has this after pseudo element, even though in the actual builder, we only put that pseudo element on the ID level inside the footer. And I never added it to the actual class. Also, you know, just goes to show up here in the builder, it's not there. Like this section split class does not have that after element. So it confuses me to no end why it's there. It makes no sense. Oh, what did I do there? Hang on. Yeah, I think I just forgot to put a root here. Instead of section split. Yeah, I didn't do it. I wasn't doing it at the ID level. I just wrote CSS to put this on the section split. Then obviously it appears on the section split. It just makes sense. Okay, there we go. Now we're back to what we wanted, and we've got working buttons, working anchors, everything's hunky-dory. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye.